Wow, it has been far too long since I've been sitting in this basement, yelling about random things that aren't really important. Since like 3 months ago, the last episode, I was talking about how to handle quarantine. Like I knew what I was talking about by any means. I was there for we were in quarantine for 3 weeks, and I come out with this big idea saying, "Oh, this is how you're gonna handle it." Oh my God, was I naive? And I definitely thought, I 100% believed that coronavirus wasn't going to be like super crazy in Canada or wasn't going to take over the United States like it is right now. And I definitely didn't think the world would have gotten as weird as it has. Conspiracy theories that are slightly coming true. Not going to get into that. I promise myself. There's so many crazy things happening that when I look back at myself and what I thought and what I believed in, I'm like, wow, I've matured so much in 3 months. I feel mentally, just because you're reading all the news and all that new information that comes out, it's just kind of scary. I feel my generation knows way too much. I feel like the baby boomers and everybody before them, and even my parents, the Gen Zs or whatever you know, Gen Xs or whatever it is, they didn't grow up knowing every single thing happening in the world. Like, for me, I get a notification when the actress from Gone with the Wind dies at 104. That is scary. It's death every day. It's a disaster every day. It's a new record high in corona cases. That's the world we live in right now, and boy, is that scary. But my favorite thing now is being able to debrief myself with these podcasts. It honestly took me a long, long time to get back into the mindset of like, okay, let's break things down, use your mouth, and actually talk it out. Because I feel if I'm thinking it over and over and over, I get stuck in this like thought processing area where it just doesn't work. And then I just think the same thought, and then it doesn't really develop or like change. But when I put myself on the spot and have to actually break it down and kind of describe it to you guys, I feel it does a lot. It's better for me, and I think maybe it's more entertaining for you. I have no clue. But, like, even breaking down past podcasts, like my last episode where I interviewed an actual Vietnam veteran, boy, was I nervous going into that podcast. I was living with my brother and his roommate, and that was his roommate's dad. And he hyped him up in a way that I, like, super intimidating. And, like, it was completely true. I was honestly kind of scared going into it. And then it just kind of set. And I asked a couple questions, and the conversation just rolled off. I made one massive mistake that I don't think many people caught on. I did say awesome about one of his stories, which now that I look at it and I think about all the trauma it would have caused, boy, was that the wrong thing to say, awesome, about a Vietnam story. Yeah, I've made mistakes. I've learned. That's a big thing. Like people make mistakes now, right? And that's a crazy thing that's happening. There's always an extent to someone's mistake that you can definitely get rid of. But I feel cancel culture should be switched to a little bit more of a, let's educate these people. And I think they're doing that with Nick Cannon, which is really interesting. And I'm a little late. I'm late, but news travels real quick now. So you're in the news for a week and then you're out. But the whole Nick Cannon thing was he said some anti-Semitic things. And instead of people like completely destroying him, he started, he personally kind of went and researched what happened and what he said that was wrong. And I'm not going to say what he said because it's just wrong. And he went to part of the Jewish community and actually broke down what was wrong. And he learned and he educated himself. He's not getting completely ruined. His life's not over now. He had enough money where even if he got canceled, he'd be fine. But there's people that are coming up now, especially in the world where like TikTok, and even though that's getting canceled, that's kind of funny. But even in that world where there's young people that are coming up and creating things and people are trying to cancel them, I don't think that's not the right thing, because you cancel them, sure, they think that one thing is wrong, but then they don't change their way of thinking. They're always gonna think that way. Like for me, like I genuinely thought of some things now in different groups of people that, like, not racially, but like just adjusting to the new trends and understanding the differences behind them. And it definitely takes you a while. Like for me, if I'm genuinely honest, getting through, like there's somebody that transitioned, and it was hard for me at first because I grew up with the person as a male. No, as a female, sorry, and then finding out that they're the male. That was very difficult because you just kind of have to get used to changing it mentally. But once you get that, it's perfectly okay. And the best thing about it was he's not going to cancel me because I misspoke and said the wrong pronoun. He would step up and say, this is what I'm going by now. This is why. Can you please call me that? And from then, I completely understood. And that's what it is. It's a process of educating yourself and learning from things. That's the crazy thing about like the world we live in. It's so let's ruin these people's lives because they misspoke. Because a lot of the time when you get put on the spot, you're going to say something incorrect. And I'm sure anybody that talks for extended periods of time, you're going to say some stupid stuff. I've said stupid stuff, and I've said some really stupid stuff that I wish I hadn't. But that's something that happens. Like, especially when you're trying to be that guy, that you're trying to be funny, you're trying to be entertaining, you're going to slip up and say something too far, or too stupid, or just straight up ignorant. But if people just cancel them right away, they're not going to learn. I wouldn't have learned if I just got immediately canceled. I would be stuck in a hatred for them. Or for like in an angry set towards other people that are canceling and that type of thing. And that's not the way to do it. We have to, as a community, as a group of people, as living human beings, break things down for people. Because once you just tell something straight up at once and plain, it doesn't always connect. It's going to take a couple times, like learning. How long did it take you to learn your multiplication table? Years. Me, I'm pretty terrible at it now. I'm going to blame my blonde hair, but that's how we're playing this. There's too many crazy things happening. And going back to the young kids, like TikTok now, it's like it's grown so much, and it's hit peak capacity where now governments are trying to cancel it, which honestly, I've looked into it a little bit. Probably not a terrible idea, but it also goes like the national point of, it's like a nationalist point of view where you're like, okay, we got to make sure this company or this country doesn't ruin us. It's just information gathering, and it's the same information that you're getting from Facebook and Instagram. Honestly, there's probably more on Facebook and Instagram. It's just that another country is owning it. So it's not that scary. It's people are just, right now the world is insane and everything's super intimidating. Right? Like coronavirus, like Canada, we're intimidated by the States right now because we don't want to open our borders. It scares me. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty close to the border. I'm like an hour away. And I'm like, okay, there could be massive spikes. Am I going to have to buy a hazmat suit like the girl that came when I came home on my plane? Sorry, that sentence made me sound super posh. No, I didn't come home on my own plane. I took a 737 when I came home from Nova Scotia where I was. That's where I was gone for so long. That's why I saw I was in a different setup. I really needed to explain all this stuff. See what I mean? I'm rambling and I have no clue what I'm kind of breaking down. I'm rusty, guys. I haven't done this in a long time. When I came home from my cottage, there was this girl in a Hello Kitty, she had a Hello Kitty mask, some like fake like Speedo sunglasses. No, not sunglasses, sorry, swim goggles. Like the little ones, not even like a full mask that would like match the thing, and a painter suit with booties. It was really funny. And you're just like, you're taking this on a plane where it's got 250 people that would normally be on the plane, but there's only 37. And they announced it on the plane. They're like, all right, guys, this is a record low today. We only have 37 people traveling with us today. I had 6 rows behind me and my own row. It's insane the way some people are handling corona very, very strongly and like effectively, and then others are like super scared by it. And it's like, it's rightfully so, though. It is a very terrible virus if you catch it. But whew, the world we live in is insane. And also, like, just wear a mask, please. I've seen so many people, like, I saw a post today about someone that was living in Washington that was driving to another state just so they didn't have to wear a mask to get groceries. How ignorant do you have to be? Like Ontario right now, you have to wear a mask wherever you go. Like if you're going in an indoor building. So like when I go and get groceries, I have to wear a mask. Good thing I work at the grocery store so I can go in the easy entrance and exit. But that's the thing, like, it's going to help people. We're keeping our cases low. People just wear a mask. It's not that inconvenient. It's not, like, anything insane. Like, there's so many people that are, like, comparing this to, like, World War II and, like, people having to, like, Jews having to wear a star. And I'm like, that is so ignorant to what those people had to go through. Why are you... It's a mask. In World War II, people would commute, like the whole entire community, all of London would turn their lights off so the Germans wouldn't know where the buildings are. That's community effort. That's 80 years ago. And we can't wear a mask when we go into a grocery store now. I'm genuinely upset with the world. It's a mask. When you're going outside, just wear a mask. It's not difficult. It doesn't restrict your breathing. Surgeons have to wear it on sometimes 12 hours, 24 hours. Long surgeries. They don't take their masks off and they're in full getup. Stop being ignorant. Help your neighbor and just wear one. It's not even, like, and people get mad, like, if you can joke about it, like, if you call someone a wuss for not wearing a mask or whatever. Like, that's what, like, Joe Rogan did that, and he got in trouble. But he's talking with his friend. It doesn't make sense. Cancel culture is rampant right now. People are getting doxxed when a famous person doxes a child. That's a thing. That's scary. For the people that don't know what doxing is, it's when you get released your IP address, your home address, and with that, people can just kind of find out who you are. And it's easy. Like, if I was to get doxxed, they would know what my parents drive. They know what I drive. They would know everything kind of about me. And that's not a good thing. Because once they have your IP address, they can do a lot of things. Scam you, whatever it is. And pretty much ruin your lives. 2020 is a scary, scary place. And it just continues to get worse. Like, I don't even know what's next. Let's see. CNN update? Nope, we're good. Nothing crazy happened yet. But it's just a tough time to grow up in right now, especially for the transition, like transitioning to university from high school. Like, since high school ended on such a strange note, I was in Nova Scotia. I wasn't even in the same province that I would have been going to. Thank you to the online classes, though. My favorite thing about that, though, is the ability for some teachers to be able to transition to online classes. Like, for me, I had an amazing teacher for economics. Love the guy. I had him for multiple classes before, and he kind of understood that this was going to happen, and he kind of prepared himself before that. But I had an English teacher who was just like, let's do the same traditional way, but like not really tell you what to do, and it just didn't work out. And then I had an actual online class for like screenplay writing and like actual writing stories and stuff like that, and I nailed it. It was a great class. But that's a big thing for like going to the university next year. Like, I'm going to Ottawa for school. I got upgraded. I got a suite. I'm pretty excited about that. Thank you, coronavirus. That's the only thing you guys did good. Is get me from my little prison cell of a room for my res to an actual suite for the coronavirus secureness or preparedness plan or whatever they want to call it. That's the only good thing I can see out of Corona. It's pretty much focused on me. Pretty narcissistic of me. But hey. Oh my God, man. It's crazy. Like, I don't understand how they're going to be able to cope with this. I feel it's going to be very, very strange. Good thing I can pick my own classes where I can break down. I can pick the classes that aren't going to be too difficult to do online. But it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be interesting. At least I have a little bit of a bigger room to, like, maybe walk around in with a desk. It's like a 2-bedroom for some reason. I don't think I have to share with anybody, which is going to be fun. But oh, iced coffee's killing the summer. God damn. But yeah, like, it's going to be a weird world. It's going to be a weird couple. It's going to be a weird year because we don't know if it's going to go away, if it's coming back. We'll genuinely see. This is going to be a strange adventure for me. I'm going with one of my friends, one of my childhood friends I played hockey with growing up. So he'll be near me. So if I ever, like, if anything's weird happening, I'll be able to be like, yo, fix me. But this, like, I don't even, like, I'm genuinely speechless when I break this down. And to think in 2020, we almost had a world war because against Iran when the U.S. drone strike to general. We had the wildfires. We had a bunch of other things. We had conspiracy theories on conspiracy theories on conspiracy theories. We had, like, Russian involvement in elections. We had all this crazy things. And it's ending with, it's got a virus, and we're not even like 6 months. Are we 6 months? I don't even know what. Like, we're not even halfway through. We could be halfway through. Who cares? We got another bit to get through this. Wait till September comes around and we'll see what's really happening. It's going to be exciting. I'm scared and excited. But getting back to, like, starting up the podcast again, we're 14 minutes and 30 seconds in. But look, I got a new table. I was very, very against that at first. I was like, no, I'm not going to enjoy this thing. It's going to be weird. But hey, it makes the cars look pretty. It gets the PBY looking good. The logo and everything. I mounted this guitar back here. I don't play guitar by any means. It's a broken string because one of my friends bought me a guitar string and then we broke it because I thought I knew how to play. But yeah, I'm just kind of like figuring out what to do and I'm preparing myself for the worst mentally, really. Like I took this 3-week break alone at my house in Ontario because my parents are still in Nova Scotia, which is a nice feature for me. It's like being a bachelor a little bit. I get to run my own pad. But it's really nice to break down, and honestly, isolation solely by yourself is a nice touch. It's a nice thing to live through because I found I'm able to actually think of ideas a little bit better. If I listen to music or I go outside and sit or write in a book, I started doing that actually. Like if I'm ever like in a weird place where I need to like kind of break down or slow down my thoughts, or like I got a long work week ahead of me and I don't really want to do it, I'll sit down and like either watch a really good movie. Like I watched a bunch of crazy, I pretty much watched all the Stanley Kubrick movies that he made, like 13 of them. And it's like, whoa, that guy's a genius for making films. And one of the guys I work with at Fortino is he's a big movie guy. So he just constantly gives me like new ideas or like new movies and new movies to watch. And he suggested this one about a like secret society, and it was so creepy and seemed like it was cut out, and there's a bunch of things behind it. Yeah, but that's a big thing for me now. Like going to university, like what am I gonna do? Do I want to go down this newfound passion of like film? Do I want to get into that world? Because I know it's a crazy and super challenging place. Or do I want to go into the media world? I'm taking communication, so I'm going to be in that world anyways, where it's like creative and like breaking down media and that type of thing, and new styles of media. So that would be social media and all that other stuff. So I've already kind of prepared myself in the sense of like getting into the industry a little bit with my the people I've worked with in the past. Sadly, I didn't perform well enough, and they hired a new group of people. But hey, you live and you learn. I got to I got to get better, and it was great experience. Thank you to them for letting me work with them. Amazing, amazing, amazing. But that's one thing. Like where do I go? And that's what I've spent this time alone kind of thinking about. Like, what do I do? Where do I want to go? I started thinking about the things I want in life. What can I get? I'm very big at like sharing experiences with people. I think my parents ingrained that in me a little bit, actually a lot when I was younger, where it's like material items aren't a big thing. Like I like clothing and I like watches, and those are like the two big things. I like clothing, watches, and cars. That's a big thing, and all of those can be super expensive, but I'd much rather have a great night with my friends than have a great luxury shoe, a shirt, or watch. You know what I mean? The car will definitely go over that. That's going to supersede it. My name's Carson for whatever. I was going to swear, but I got to be a singular youth boy. Keep my language clean. But that's one thing. So I really do want to be able to have a space, a house, maybe even like live like a warehouse where I can have all the like everything I want set up there. Have a garage for cars, have a place to entertain, a big movie room, all that type of stuff. These are dreams and aspirations, and they're very, very far from me. Currently, I make little to no money in the world that we live in. Fortino's does not pay me enough, because it is a minimum wage job, and that's exactly what you should pay. But it's like, that's the thing. I need to find a way that I can get the things I truly want, because I dream big. And all of you guys should too. It's just think as far and wide and big as, sure, say you want to climb a hill. No, you want to climb Everest. That's my kind of thought. Like, if I need to climb a hill, I need to do this much better. And that's kind of what, like, so much more intense, and just to make sure that I get it done the right way first and that type of thing. And it doesn't work for school for me that much, because it's like, it's just something I'm not interested. But since university's come around and I could choose exactly what I want, I think that's going to change the game a little bit for me. So I'm super, super, super excited there. You can probably tell I've said super excited about 1 million times in this episode. But I'm rusty. I'm getting back to what I haven't done in a long time. So there she goes. Like, boys, the world's ending. I'm moving away, going to a new place, starting a new life, living by myself. Going to be super interesting. I'm going to still find a way to do podcasts there, though. I'm starting doing vlogs a little bit. They're a little cheesy. I've noticed I try to edit some of them, and I'm like, why am I... This is like... if Casey Neistat was mixed with 100% dad jokes. That was kind of the vibe I got from the show, like the episode I made. And I'm like, okay, I'll crop this. Or I'll be like, okay, this is literally me just showing off somebody else's cool thing. Actually, that's the next episode, is me just like showing off something that's not even mine, wearing a shirt that's not even mine. So I got to get to the point where I can show off things I do, or like something interesting. I got a lot of aspirations, and I don't know how I'm going to get to them yet, but we'll get there. Can you leave my gray sweatshirt in the truck? Oh, that's not even a message for me. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Texting me when you mean Mitch. That was a fly. All right, guys, you know what? I'm rambling way too much. Thank you for coming to Carson's Conversations. I think 38. Yep, last episode was then. I've got a bunch of upgrades. We're looking good. Upgrades, people, upgrades. We're set. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see when I can get this up, hopefully as soon as possible. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. You made it 20 minutes and 45 seconds. Love you. Goodbye.